level 4 of our local SEO with Staxio, and at this level we're going to add points of interest. So my Maps URL builder has the Google Maps URL, has my list of keywords, has the zoom level randomization enabled, and has the latitude increase randomization also enabled. And the next feature I'm going to enable is the points of interest and driving directions. And this is the only thing I'm going to do in this video. I'm just going to enable this feature. Maybe increase the radius a little bit. So what exactly are these points of interest? According to Google, points of interest are meant to help users discover businesses and attractions like parks, schools, government buildings, supermarkets, etc. Right? So what I'm asking Google here is, actually, there is actually a list of points of interest types, which are called place types, and we have included and taken that list from Google into Staxio, which is this list you see here on this dropdown. These are all the points, the types of points of interest that we can get from Google Maps, and it's actually quite a list. Without going into, I'm going to do a build without selecting place types from both these dropdowns, because just so you see what Staxio creates and what it does. When I'm going to do a build, I'm going to click on the build button actually while I'm talking a little bit. So I'm asking Google to give me all the list of points of interest around my business location, like my latitude and longitude coordinates. Give me a list of points of interest in a radius of 2.5 kilometers, which is this setting here. And then I'm going to add additional place types. But first we're going to take a look at this build. See if Staxio has completed. Okay, very good. So I now have an additional tab here at the bottom called Points of Interest. And this is our list of points of interest, which in total are 60. Well, the first row are the column names. So I got 60 points of interest from Google, and they all seem to be of type tourist attraction. Well, seems to be a park here, but the rest seems to all be tourist attractions. So I have, for each point of interest, we have the name, the latitude, the longitude, and place ID, rating, and user ratings, and the type. Let's open this first one and take a look. So this seems to be a sightseeing spot, which has a rating of 4.6 from 28k users. So 28k users, a rating of 4.6, tourist attraction from a sightseeing spot. So now going back and add an additional place type, which can be ATM. Let's find all the ATMs around the business, and another type of point of interest can be park. Okay, let's do parks. So what am I expecting to happen? I'm expecting that on top of the 60 points of interest I already have from the first build. Let me press the build button. I'm expecting to get 60 additional place types, 60 additional points of interest of type ATM. So I'm asking Google to give me all the up to a maximum of 60 ATMs around my business, up to a radius of 2.5 kilometers, and all the points of interest of type park, up to a maximum of 60, that exist around my business. I'm expecting to get all the same 60 initial points of interest because these are coming from the first build. So I'm expecting 60 plus 60, a maximum of 60 ATM points of interest of type ATM. So that's 120 plus another 60 points of interest of type park added to my points of interest tab on my Google Sheet. So a maximum of 180 points of interest. I don't think that there will be 60 parks around the business, but probably ATM machines. I wouldn't be surprised. But okay, the build is finished. Let's take a look. And we can even compare both Google Sheets. So this is my initial Google Sheet from the first build, 60 points of interest, 61 minus the row with the column names. And this is my second Google Sheet, which should have more information. So let's go into the points of interest tab and let's start scrolling down. So here is, scroll up a little bit. So this is where my initial list of points of interest came from, right? So 61 plus the list of ATMs. This is where the list of ATM place type starts. So you can see, I'm going to do a select. These are all ATMs. How many? Let's see. That's a lot of ATMs. Yeah, probably total of 60. I'm gonna keep scrolling down and selecting up to when I see parks, which is here. I'm actually going to fill this info with a different color. Let's do green. And from here, from 123, I get all parks. That's a lot of parks. Wow, wasn't expecting all these parks. So see, we actually got 180 points of interest. Wasn't expecting all these parks, but I'm glad we did, because we got an example, a good example of when Staxio and Google returns the maximum points of interest that the API allows us to for each place type. One for ATMs and one for parks. And that's it. That's what I wanted to show you and this at this level, at level 4. On the next levels, the next sessions, I'm going to show you how we're going to use these points of interest to build additional links to our business.